Hey guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and same here with a recommendation video for you of one of my absolute favorite tropes, which is the possessive, protective, jealous, overprotective hero who is obsessed with the heroine. These are my favorites, and I've read a few that I'm very excited to share with you. I have done this video a lot, so I'll go ahead and link that down below. All the other ones I've done. It's been like 6 or 7 months since I've done it though, so I'm very excited for these 8 books that I have to share with you. So I will get to it, but before I get started, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Louisa Jewelry. If you guys have been following me at all, like over the past couple years, you know how obsessed I am with Louisa. I am so excited that I continue to work with them because their jewelry is my favorite, specifically their earrings. I have my ears pierced 3 times on both sides, and then I do have my cartilage up here. I am constantly changing out my earrings and what I want to wear together. What I love about their earrings is that I have so many different pairs that pair well together, so I'm constantly changing out which ones I have, and I have so many fun ones. And this week I'm actually wearing ones that I usually don't wear together because I was at my parents' house last week and left my earrings there, so I can't get them back until tomorrow when I see them again. But I have all these other pairs and a new pair that I got that I'm so excited for that I got to wear today. I did get a pair for my mom and my sister for Valentine's Day because Louisa jewelry is perfect to give your loved one on Valentine's Day, even if it's not a significant other. It could be a friend, it could be family. I love spoiling my family with gifts, so any holiday I'm like, here's a gift. So I'll show you what I got my mom and my sister, and they are actually having a really good sale right now, which is buy one get one 50% off. So they have really affordable pieces, and having that sale on top of it is just perfect to take advantage of and get something for someone in your life or yourself. If you want to just treat yourself this Valentine's Day, grab yourself a pair of earrings, a necklace, a bracelet, rings. They have all the jewelry you could want. I do wear my earrings literally every day, and I have some pieces that I've had for over 2 years now, and they are all still in perfect condition. Like, the quality is amazing. I genuinely do not stop wearing their earrings every single day, and I love them. And they are shipping internationally too, so international people, check out their website as well. But I'll show you mine. So my new one is this hoop right here. Oh my gosh, I love big hoops, but not too big, and I feel like these are the perfect size. They're similar to the ones I got last time from them. The ones last time had actual like crystals in it, but this one is just gold, and I like their gold jewelry better. I do have some silver, but most of my earrings from them are gold, and so I have these 3. I'll come up a little closer for you. Okay, a little close up, you can see I have 3 pieces in here, and I love all of them. This one in the middle is one of my recent favorites that I've been wearing a lot more, but this hoop, look how pretty it is. I really love it. So those are my earrings that I paired together, but this one's my new one, which I really love. Then I got some for my sister and my mom. My sister picked these out. They're really pretty. I really like the detail of the knot, and I don't know what else to call it. It's called mini love knot, so it is perfect for Valentine's Day, but my sister's really excited. She doesn't wear too many hoops, so she loves their studs. My mom picked these out. I actually have this pair. These are my favorite to wear. This is what I left at my parents' house. These are the Suzanne in medium. I have Suzanne in medium and Suzanne in small, and I wear them all the time. They're perfect to mix and match with their more detailed earrings, and these are in both silver and gold. I actually have them in both. I have the medium and the small in silver and gold because I'm obsessed. So my mom, I think, also already has them in small that I've gifted her once, so these are the ones that she wanted this time. I do have everything linked down below, so check out their website, pick out some new pieces, and gift yourself or your loved ones some jewelry during this Valentine's Day season. Okay, so I do have 8 books I want to share with you, 2 of which I know were recently in my second chance romance video, but I love them and you need to read them. So I'll save those a little bit later, but the first one is The Optimist Guide to Heartbreak by Jennifer Hartman. This is book 1 in a duet, and this one, there were scenes in here that I was swooning over because the hero gets so protective and jealous when they're not even dating, and it's so good. So this one revolves around Lucy and Cal, and Lucy grew up with Cal. She was best friends with Cal's sister. We know she's not around anymore. Something happened. Cal refuses to talk about it. So Cal actually moved away, and Lucy, I think she moved away when she like was older, and now she's back, and she bought Cal's old house and she's living in it. She wants to track Cal down, so she does end up finding him at this garage that he owns, and she applies for the job to be the secretary, and Cal doesn't want to hire her, and he's like, nope, we filled it, and he lies to her, and she's like, you're lying to me, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll hire you. So he's like, the only rule is you cannot talk about Emma, and that's all we know. And Cal is so grumpy. Like, if you like a grumpy protective possessive hero, this book is for you. We slowly unravel what happened in the past, and it is their second chance because they really did like each other as kids, and it reminds me a lot of Queen Move by Kennedy Ryan, where they like were almost an item because they're soulmates. They were best friends growing up. It was about to turn into something more where they were at that age where it could, and then it was ripped away from them. And so now they're reuniting and having that chance again. But Cal's very grumpy. Lucy sings at this bar, and the bartender's so into her, and Lucy doesn't really like him in that way, and so she's still friends with him. Cal goes to see her sing and sees this bartender and lies in order to get the bartender to go away, and is so protective over Lucy, and it's hilarious, and I love it so much because he's like, I am not gonna give in to you, but like also no one else can have you, and I love that dynamic. This is part 1 of a duet. I love this one. I give it 5 stars. Check it out. I also have Until You by Katerina Mora. I feel like this would count for all of them. I'm actually in the middle of Bittersweet Memories, which is so good. It's an amnesia romance, but I have not finished it yet. This one is a brother's best friend romance, and in the beginning, our heroine, she is with a guy that her brother and brother's best friend are like not a fan of, and so she has been living with him for a while, and she really likes him, but it's kind of clear like he's kind of using her because they work together, and she like does a lot of his work. She's actually really good at coding, but she's stuck in the sales department because she's a woman and no one takes her seriously as a coder. And the hero is like a hotshot computer tech guy with his own company in California, and he's there to visit, and she figures out the truth, something about her boyfriend, and she's devastated. And the hero literally, and her brother, they both are like, we are going to like beat him down. Like, there is no one who is gonna hurt you that way. And the brother though is a doctor, so the hero's like, don't like jeopardize your career, we're not gonna do anything. And then the hero like secretly goes and teaches him a lesson. I love it when they are like, you hurt her, you're in trouble. Like, it's not like to the extent, it's not a dark romance, it's not like you die, but like, you're gonna learn your lesson from hurting the woman we love. I loved that so much. And so in this one, she's always wanted to have like a really prominent coding career, especially in the hero's business, and so he offers her a job and she moves there, and that's where the story goes. But I'm excited to read more from Katerina Mora because I have been loving her writing lately, and I have another one on audio that I'm gonna buy from Audible soon, and her new release is coming out soon that I have an arc of, so she's an author I'm excited to discover more from. I also have King of Wrath, and this one is very much like he doesn't want to be with her and they're engaged, but then at some points he's like, that is my fiance, you will not do that to her. So in this one, the hero and heroine have to enter into an arranged marriage because of something with the heroine's father, and the hero really doesn't want to, but he kind of has to, and the heroine is tired of her family like dictating her life, and she though is like, okay fine, like we're gonna make this work, I'll move in with him, we will make it look like we're engaged and happy. And he acts all prickly and grumpy towards her, but he is actually very, very protective and obsessive over her. And so this one is really good. There's also a lot of growling that has to happen at the end because of something that he was keeping secret. So I think that Anna Huang writes the protective, possessive alpha hero so well. It's like a dark romance hero and not a dark romance. That's how her books feel, and they're a fun time, so I really like this one. So the next one I haven't talked about on my channel yet because I just finished it last night. I personally gave this book 3 stars. However, it has been on so many of my friends' top books of the year. So I'm going to throw it out there that this is one that has that trope in it. It's something that I thought was too long and too drawn out, and it does have my favorite trope. It is Restore Me by J.L. Seegers. I'm going to talk about this book in my wrap up next, I think it's going to come after this video, but this was my book club pick with Ravished by Romance, and I was very excited. So many of my friends love this book. It is a dead husband's best friend romance, which, hello, is my favorite. However, this book was so good for about halfway through, and then it just kept on going. It just kept on going, and we got a little snippet of, we know he fell in love with her when he met her in college before she met her husband, who was his best friend, and we didn't get to see how that had all played out until the very, very end. However, the beginning was so good. So he is literally in love with her. He has been in love with her for so long, and you know that you get the vibes. Like, you know he hates her because he can't have her. In order to protect his heart, he hates her, but now she is realizing she's attracted to him. She never thought that way before. She never cheated on her husband, but she has this like hunger for him. She calls it like skin hunger or something, and they decide to have a friends with benefits situation. He is so protective. So he does have a very awful father who is an alcoholic and abusive, and so he stays away from alcohol, and he really tries very hard to control his temper. He doesn't fight anybody. He just like, he's trying to not be like his father. There's a scene in here where he goes off the rails because someone touched her, and it was a very important scene, and like I really love that part about this book, the depth of his character and what he has to go through, what he's trying to not become, what he is trying to avoid by being with her, because he has to admit that he was in love with her the whole time, and it's just so good. I love how much he loves her. He loves her so much, and it had been like 15 years of this love. I don't know if it was 15, but it had been a long time of this love, and it's just such a powerful book. Like, I'm so sad I didn't love the second half as much as the first half, but if that sounds at all good to you, definitely pick this book up because so many of my friends love it. I see why they love it. There were just too many parts that didn't work for me, but this follows that trope. So check it out if it sounds interesting. Then I have Little Eyes by Helena Hunting. This is a new adult hockey romance where, again, it's kind of like soulmates, where they were, I have actually a couple of those on here. I have one more too, where when they were younger, they were like all consumed by one another. However, they were too young for it to turn into anything like actual relationship wise. They were just like really close as friends, and in this one she was almost kidnapped at a like a fair as a child, and it was very traumatizing for everyone involved, especially her though, and especially our hero, because he now feels like he needs to protect her. She has a lot of panic attacks and anxiety, and he is the thing that like calms her down, but their families are like, this is too much, like we need to figure out how you guys can function apart so you don't overly rely on each other for the rest of your lives. Like, this could get very toxic very quickly. So they're torn apart, and then something happened when they were in high school, and he broke her heart, so she hates him, and now they're in college, and she is living with her brother and her brother's friends, I want to say, or like a cousin or something, and he is living like across the street, and then something happens to his house where he has to move into their house, and so he's around all the time, and at one point she wears this like string bikini to one of their parties, and he literally throws her over his shoulder and takes her inside and says, no one is going to look at you because only I can look at you. So it was so good, and oh my gosh, this turned really spicy for the second half, which I was not expecting because it wasn't in the first half, and it was perfect. I loved them together. I love them so much. She is making him grovel and pay for breaking her heart a few years ago, and it's so good, but I love how he was just like, these people are not going to look at you this way. Absolutely not. She was on a study date with a friend who was helping tutor her, and he's like, who is this? So very jealous and protective. I loved him. So another one that I talked about last video is going to be Whispers of You by Catherine Cowles. It's finally out, so read it. This one is a second chance romance, and they were madly in love in high school, and then she was involved in a shooting, and it was these two people. She thinks it's three, but nobody ever found this mysterious third person, so they think like she was not remembering things correctly, and so it was these two students who show up at her house and want to kill her. They had killed a couple people around town. They hurt a couple people. They were survivors, and she survived. She recovered because she was shot, and the hero though wasn't there. He was running late. He was supposed to be there, and he blames himself for the whole thing. He was there for her while she recovered, but he was freaking out too much that he left, and he has not been back for 10 years. His family's mad at him. She hates him. Everybody's mad that he left, but he is back because his father had a heart attack, and he's trying to reconcile with his family, and they get involved again. Well, someone is picking off the survivors from that tragedy, and he is now horrified something's gonna happen to her, so he is extremely protective, and just, it's that fear of it happening again for him that he'd been through it before, and she's seen signs of him pulling away again just like he did 10 years ago, but this time she is not letting him leave, and she's not letting him get away with that. So this was so good. I love the romantic suspense in here. I think it was one of her most suspenseful romances that she's written, and it's the first in a series following siblings. It is Holt siblings. You meet all of them in here, and I'm so excited for them and their stories, but this one, amazing. I also have Passion and Venom by Shanora Williams. This one, This is actually a dark romance, okay? So lots of bad things happen to her. She is married to a guy in the mafia. She grew up in the mafia. It's literally her wedding day. She just got married to the love of her life, and her husband's murdered in front of her, and she's taken and held captive by someone else who's enemies with her husband's mafia. So this guy is actually someone from her past. She knew him. Their fathers were friends, and he did not realize that she was the wife of the guy he killed. He hated the guy. He was like, yeah, I needed to kill him. And she was horrified. And what happens is, he realizes who she is and brings her to his house, and he's still playing games with her. He's like, you're gonna listen to everything I say and you're mine. And she's like, no. And he is so protective of her and wants her to learn her place in his home though. And something happens where bad things happen to her. Like someone betrays him and bad things happen to her. He is literally touch her and you die. He goes off that someone dared touch her because he's the only one allowed to touch her and he's the only one allowed to play games with her. This happened at the end of the book, so I was like, why do I like this? So it is very dark, it's mafia, bad things happen to our characters, but I loved it. I'm so excited to read the rest of the trilogy because I need to know what happens next, but so good. Another dark romance, not as dark as that one, is Devil of Dublin. I do not stop talking about this book. This again is childhood, almost lovers to the future, where she would always visit Ireland in her childhood because she had family there, and she would see him in the woods behind her grandparents' house, and he was brutally abused as a child. He was raised by a priest. He was seen as like the son of a devil, and he just had a really rough childhood, and she was the only magic in his life, and he would wait every year for her to visit for a week, and then she stopped coming because then something happened in her life. Now she is going through a lot of abuse as well, and she returns when her grandfather passes away with a fiance and sees our hero. He is now a like hired killer for the mafia, and she sees him and they want each other, but there are people that are now coming after him, and so he literally kills for her. He will do anything for her, and I loved him. He felt that way throughout the whole book though, like even as like a young kid, he like wanted to protect her, and I just love that. And I just love this book. He is just like so damaged, but like good, but bad. Like he has such a good soul, but he has been so hurt that he just kills. Like that's all he knows what to do. And I just love this book so much. It had that kind of like soulmate magical feel to it that I just can't get over. I will never stop talking about this book. And those are my protective, possessive, and jealous heroes. Let me know if you have any others for me. I would love to hear. Make sure you check out Anna and Louisa and their jewelry with Valentine's Day coming up. Spoil your loved ones, your friends, your family, and your life with their jewelry. Check out their sale, which is buy one get one 50% off. Everything is linked down below, and thank you so much to them for sponsoring this video. And that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.